Enable fast and reliable automated testing, presented by Brianna, Cassie, Jay, and Tony. Intro. What is automated testing? Automated testing is a compilation of software. It allows quicker access to errors, which allows us to be able to fix these errors quicker. We must create effective automated systems in our workforce if we are to be effective in being able to overcome problems that will arise while we're trying to create a product. Errors can cause mass delay in our production. Find ways to overcome small unnecessary tasks to allow develop more time on more important things. This is what it is to be automated testing. Build fast and reliable automated validation test suites. Automated validation test suites, or ATS, is a collection of software or validating and testing electronic on evaluating and testing electronic devices. These can fall into one of three categories: unit test, acceptance test, integration test. Unit test, accepted test, integration test. Unit test, a small scale testing, tests individual methods, classes, or functions. Does not use external dependencies such as databases, quick tests. Acceptance test, large scale testing, takes longer to complete as every part of the application is tested as a whole, does not use external dependencies. Integration test, testing that includes interaction in different modules of the application with external dependencies such as databases and APIs. All of these tests allow us to create a system that we're able to complete, that we're able to keep ourselves hands off on certain situations so we don't have to work constantly whenever there's a problem that arises. Automated testing is a very important aspect, especially using these tests can allow us to better increase our workflow productivity.
Automated testing is key to speed. We always run faster running automated tests before we run slower running automated tests, which are both run before any manual testing is done. Whenever we find an error with an acceptance or integration test, we should create a unit test that can find the error faster, earlier, and cheaper. This saves us money and time. Sometimes architecture can be too tightly coupled. If this is the case, we will need to create a more loosely coupled system so that modules can be independently tested without integration environments.
Ensure test run quickly because we want our tests to run smoothly and fast. We do that by having our tests to run in parallel and across different servers. You can also run different categories of tests in parallel. Some examples would be when a test passes acceptance tests, then you can run performance tests in parallel with security tests. Once it has passed all automated tests, then exploratory testing can be used. You also want to test often and on a schedule. Testing early in the process can help with any failures or errors.
Automated testing should be run and approvals completed before manual testing. That they help save time and move production forward quickly. Developers should use the build that have passed all automated tests. Along with automated testing and approvals, manual testing helps add value to our value stream. Find errors early and fix them as soon as possible and move our code to production in a more ready state. If you ever wondered who performs the manual testing, these are done by different types of testers, which include the developer, called white box testing, a test engineer, called black box testing, or a person who knows both the code structure and testing practices, called gray box testing. White box is developer testing, most likely the one who wrote the code to be tested. Typically no formalized plan to test. They check syntax, spelling, logic, functionality. This is where the developer tries to break their own code, running tests that they can think of. The black box is tested by a test engineer one who is not familiar with the internal structure of the code. This is a person who is specifically trained for testing purposes. This is not the developer. Test engineers typically have their own arsenal of testing software, whether self-developed or predefined. They write tests specifically for QA purposes. The gray box is a combination of white box and black box testing. This person has some knowledge of the internal working structure of the code, but they also test cases and code, and they're created with this partial knowledge in mind. In conclusion, we've discussed some of the different aspects of automated testing, what it is, what kinds of tests are available, and the benefits of automated testing. Automation is testing helps enhance the process from development to production. Done effectively, if not all, errors can be caught quickly. Fixes can be made earlier. Automated testing saves time and money for the company and for developers. We also talked about how we can run our automated tests by running them in parallel with other tests. And finally, we contrasted automated testing with a bit of manual testing. We hope this helps establish why it is important to incorporate automated and manual testing into our DevOps practices. Thank you for watching our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it.